Hi, I'm Shaul. The introduction of a few new camera models recently made me wonder what new features a camera might have may seduce me to buy a new camera. You see, the last time I was really excited about a new camera, the last time I actually pre-ordered one, because before it was widely available, was in 2013, I think. When the Olympus EM1 first version was introduced. The feature that made me excited in it was the addition of on-sensor face detection autofocus, which was missing from previous mirrorless models. Ever since then, no camera really sparked my imagination. No camera made it possible for me to produce actually better photos that I was already able to make. Image quality, as it is usually measured by low light noise at high ISO values and dynamic range, has not been improving really, not in a tangible way. Since about 2011, light capturing or gathering efficiency by the sensor reached its maximum by then. Recent improvements such as stacked sensors, high readout speed that is generally necessary for video and for any application that requires silent or electronic shutter, have actually limited dynamic range, because more of the surface area of the sensor is dedicated to electronics. The question which new features you need or want that would make an actual difference is dependent on what you use your camera for. You see, there are three kinds of camera users generally these days. The first one is replicating what you see. By that I also include what you feel when watching the world. The second one is capturing information that you do not see, information that is very short-lived, that disappears in a blink of an eye or a blink of the EVF, information that is expressed in tiny details that you can really see only when using a small part of the captured image, or information that is hid in the shadows or in the highlights and requires a vast dynamic range to capture simultaneously. The third type of use for a camera is in video, where you might want to increase the capturing frequency, the temporal one, in order to show the scene in slow motion. Out of the three possible functions of a camera, I am mostly interested in the first one, which is capturing what I see, what I feel. It's a documentary type of work, and it does not rely on minute details or on very high frequency of capturing the image. On the other hand, I do wish my camera to represent the world in a way that is true to the manner I see. That is true to life, if you want. So what really matters to me is the subtleties of aesthetics of the image I produce, or the camera produces. I'm quite particular about a certain contrast, global contrast, but also local, micro contrast. I don't like this expression really, micro contrast. I would rather use something like micro gradation that explains this concept in a better way. And I want the veneer or the finish of the photograph to look natural, not too smooth like many cameras are tuned to work these days. To be quite honest, any modern camera can do what I want it to, depending of course on the optics I mount on it. The optics are a tricky thing because they really define the look of an image, the finish, but also the contrast. So over the years I have collected a set of lenses that can replicate the scene in a true-to-life manner. That my issue is that those lenses are in different mounts, and they represent different periods in the history of modern photography. Not all of them can work in the way they are designed to work on a modern camera. So I have to adapt them. And for that I need a particular mount that is compatible with a lot of lens mounts through adapters, of course. The lens shooting me now, for instance, is not designed to work with a camera I mounted it on. It is a little bit limiting. If I need a fast focus solution, it cannot give it to me. I need to compromise on the optics I use in order to achieve everything I want. But for this purpose, talking head video made for YouTube, this solution is good enough. I mounted the lens on an autofocusing adapter, so if I get closer to the camera or further away slowly, it will follow me. It will focus on my face, and you as a viewer will not feel anything amiss. But it's not a combination that is designed for fast motion. You see, if I try to speed up my movements, it will get confused. It just won't keep up. You will see it losing focus. But I digress. Features introduced in those newly announced cameras do not really interest me. These days, most of the innovation has to do with video, and I do not need advanced video capabilities. I'm shooting this at 1080p in 8-bit, trusting the image processing of my camera to represent the colors, the motion, the contrast of the scene in a pleasing way, and I think it does. I don't like editing my video. I don't like having to shoot in high bit rates or even in RAW in order to be able to grade the footage afterwards. I think that particularly in video, the thematic content of the footage is by far the most important. What it looks like only makes a difference if footage is not very interesting. If I remember correctly, the first cameras that were able to produce video files at 8 bits at 1080p with adequate autofocus and good image quality were introduced around 2016, 2017, almost a decade ago. Since then, all the advancements made in terms of video are overkill for me. Maybe I'm 5 or 6 steps behind the state of the art in video production. I don't know. But the fact is, I don't even have a fast enough computer to edit 10-bit files. I'm embarrassed to say that. Video editing has never been a priority for me, and I'm quite reluctant to replace my computer just for that. As for stills photography, pre-capture options, high frame rates, anything higher than, say, 3 or 5 frames per second, are not really necessary for the applications I use the camera for. Higher dynamic range is always nice to have, but with the current technology, I think it has reached a point where improvement is not really possible. Maybe when new types of sensors are developed, there could be a tangible improvement to dynamic range. But until then, I think that the camera that is shooting me now is one of the best. Newer cameras, faster reading cameras are compromising some of this dynamic range in order to gain speed. So I'm not interested, really. I'm not interested in a higher resolution than the 24 megapixels this camera offers. It is quite enough. I would even argue that I could do with less. I could easily do with 12 to 16 megapixels for my applications. It would decrease the storage space I use and the editing time of raw files, which to me is a waste of time. I just want to reach presentable results. I'm not fussy about the way my images look, how sharp they are, how much detail is resolved in those images. My photography is not about details. It's about authorship, about being able to document what I see from my own perspective, to add my own voice to the story that is told. However, there are 3 things that I wish my camera could do better. And if a camera is ever announced that can do them better, I would be tempted to buy it. The first one is auto white balance. You see, white balance is easy to address if you shoot raw. It's quite flexible and you can set the right color temperature for your scene, for the desired effect you want to achieve after you expose the shutter. But to me, it's the only reason to shoot raw. My cameras are good enough in exposing the scene correctly according to what I would like to achieve. and the color reproduction is basically good enough for me. The rest depends on the optics, of course. The only reason for me to shoot RAW is inaccuracies in the interpretation of color temperature. And with every camera I've bought over the past 15 years, I think that the accuracy and the consistency of auto white balance has dropped a little bit. One of the first cameras I owned, modern cameras, was the Olympus E3. It's an old camera, a 10 megapixel one, introduced in 2007. It incorporated a color temperature sensor, separate from the image sensor, that measured the color temperature of incident light. That gave a very good estimation for setting auto white balance. But that, I think, was one of the last cameras that incorporated such a sensor. And when you try to interpret color temperature from the image captured itself, it's a problem, especially in mixed light, especially in artificial light, where I don't know why, but the cameras are not able to do that well enough. Anyway, well enough for my needs. A lot of effort has been dedicated to autofocus. That includes harnessing the dark powers of AI, artificial intelligence, in order to being able to predict future motion. And it works very well. Autofocus is really almost perfect these days in many of the cameras introduced. So why can't camera manufacturers do a similar thing with color temperature sensing or guessing? Why do I have to shoot RAW in order to address this issue? I don't understand. If there was a new camera that would vastly improve the accuracy of auto white balance, I would gladly buy it. It is really the last hurdle that prevents me from using the camera JPEGs. They are clearly good enough, I hope. Next is a pet peeve of mine. I think that lenses made for mirrorless cameras could use screwdriver autofocus, like they used to use, some of them in the 1990s. Screwdriver autofocus is based on an autofocusing motor included in the camera body that connects to the autofocusing mechanism in the lens by a mechanical screw. That could make lenses cheaper because they don't have to contain any electronics in them. All the autofocus electronics, motors, algorithms would be placed in the camera itself. It would also make them more reliable because they do not contain any sensitive parts. All you need is one autofocusing motor that is located in the camera body. You don't need a separate solution for each lens. One of the manufacturers starts producing such lenses accompanied with a body that would drive their autofocus mechanism, a small one. I would probably jump on the bandwagon, and a third feature that would make me buy a new camera is a reduction of the megapixel count. You see, I'm not after more resolution, I'm after less. I think that the way forward in terms of low light photography and dynamic range is actually making the pixels larger in area. That means reducing the resolution of the sensors. Benefits for that are smaller storage space required, especially on remote servers in the cloud, and faster processing of the files. That could even manifest itself in video. You could gain higher frame rates, for example, without having to compromise on rolling shutter and such. As I said before, video doesn't really matter to me, but it matters to others. This is a shout out to camera conspiracies who keeps asking for that, to no avail. Resolution keeps increasing, and there is no good reason for that. There should be a class of cameras and lenses dedicated to applications that do not require high resolution, that are not dependent on the representation of tiny details, on cropping. Apart of those things, I don't think there is any feature that would really tempt me to buy a new camera. I'm quite set. I will probably use what I have forever until it breaks down for some reason. Because it gives me what I need, almost everything I need. I'm not too optimistic that my will would somehow magically be fulfilled. My peeves with the current crop of cameras are quite particular. There are not many photographers, videographers who share them. The best, more useful purchase I made in the past 2 years is actually a little thumb grip for the Nikon ZF. It makes it much more enjoyable to use. It really improves the ergonomics of holding the camera when shooting. The holy grail of finding a nice lens that also works seamlessly with the Z mounts that I use is not quite fulfilled yet. All the latest lenses that I bought to try are somewhat disappointing. They do not match my best lenses such as the one shooting me now, which is Thypoc 28mm f1.4. New cameras, as I said, there is nothing on the horizon that might make me interested. But until then, I'm enjoying using what I have. And to do photography I like to do, the documentary style, dirty photography I enjoy, what I have is more than sufficient. A related but different thing is features added to a camera that make a true difference without you expecting it. Those examples are few and far between, but it's really nice when something like this happens. Recently, the Nikon ZF got a firmware update introducing grain, or what they call film grain, to images and even to the video. I didn't expect much of it, but playing with different sizes and intensities of film grain really makes a difference to the images. Apart from masking sensor noise, when it gives the image a texture that allows the viewer to experience the image in a different way. This texture gives the viewer something to bite on. It makes it somehow more tangible. The image looks more gritty, but also more real. And that grain is not really visible at a normal viewing size. There is a high-end veneer to them. It's hard for me to explain exactly, but you can get the impressions from the images shown now on the screen. Please let me know which features would make you pick up a new camera. It's interesting to see different perspectives. If you would like to support my channel, please consider buying me a coffee. It's a nice gesture between gentlemen. There is a link in the description below. So, thank you for watching, and see you again soon.